Welcome back to the Super Not Funny Show Reviews. And today I'm reviewing Foundation Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale. It's entitled Creation Myths, and it's coming to you from Apple TV Plus. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, here we are at the season finale of this really momentous, like, action-packed and extremely pivotal, like, season of TV. I hate to say the whole season is, but like, there has been a lot going on in this show, and this finale had a lot. It didn't have a lot of heavy lifting to do, but boy, it had to land this bird because it is heavy with all, not just themes, but like characters and plot arcs, all that stuff. There's so much happening. The revelations of the previous episode about Demerzel and Cleon the First, and the near death of of not near death but near taking over of Gale was like huge. And also, what is the fate of the Foundation after that horrific planet rending explosion. So I think up to this point we hadn't really seen the extent of Empire's power. I mean, we had gotten hints of it because of the previous the mining settlement, the mining planet that was completely decimated once it was completely denuded of any useful materials in it. And Empire literally just decided to allow the sentient, the robotic, excavators to just kill everyone on the planet. So that's the callousness of an empire run by people who don't see the people of individual planets, just see planets themselves, because there's so many. Like, if you read the books, essentially the human empire in Foundation had 25 million worlds. That was the idea, that there was million, like, not just a million worlds, but 25 million worlds. And it's so big that it needs a Trantor to even administer it. It needs a gigantic bureaucracy to administer all of these worlds. And it's falling. It's in decay. And so in this in this episode, dealing with the fallout of that particular attack by the Empire against the Foundation, seemingly crippling and destroying the Foundation. Or did it? I mean, come on, this show's called Foundation, not Empire, so clearly it's not all over for them. And also, Demerzel, what's she gonna do with what is she gonna do with the information being out? Well, that's the first thing we come to, which is that she returns to Trantor in time to deal with Dusk and Enjoiner Rue. And you know what? Demerzel is a murderous bot. Let's call it like it is. She admits to having, sent the assassins to, almost kill Day. Almost kill, not actually kill him, because of her programming. Because her programming would not allow Day to actually end the Genetic Dynasty. And so she was essentially setting up someone to get out of his mind that he's going to have children or anything like that, and setting up Sarah to take the fall for it. And so this is a very enlightening moment, but also it's pretty clear this is a executioner talking to the victims. And I think Dusk, he says, like, we were dead the moment we walked in here. But and all of that, there's real emotion there. Like, we think of robots having no emotion; they're just machines. But it's pretty clear that, at least in this Foundation universe, robots ascended to the point of real sentience, in which they not only could think and act for themselves, but also have actually emotions. And it wasn't just programmed in, I think. And so she has to reluctantly, but will, because of her programming, kill the two of them. But that doesn't mean that Dusk can't have a little loving moment with her. That does come back to kind of bite her. Because on Trantor also, she notes that she not only is going to have to deal with, she dealt with Day and his threat to their relationship. She's dealing with Dusk and his threat to their relationship because of his finding out the truth. But now she has to deal with Dawn, who she knows is having an affair with Sereth and has plans to have her child, or to give her a child. And so she goes through her plan to set up Sereth and everything, but not before, Dawn can sort of, intercept and find out, hey, what are you doing? And see the message that Dusk, he's a clever guy, so he's very clever. He is Cleon, actually, and leaves a message for him to let him know that he cannot trust Demerzel, and that gives him the opportunity to escape with Sereth, but before it's escaping with Sereth, to set up a situation where it makes it look like Empire is going to be passed on to Dawn and Sereth, using like the visual scramblers to make it look like them, and to essentially make it known that Demerzel, if they see a new Dusk, Dawn, and Day, that Demerzel is messing around. So I think this is just further crumbling the confidence in Empire that had been slowly eroding over time. But that's not the biggest thing that's going to erode confidence, because there's all that stuff out there on Terminus. It does appear that the Foundation is destroyed, but it's not good enough for Day, because Demerzel notes she wasn't able to fix him, wasn't able to get his mind right. And so now he's not just done with destroying the Foundation, as Belrio says. That's enough. But nope, not enough. Got to go destroy the 7 planets who have come into the fold of the Foundation. And so he orders them to move on to Anacreon. And unfortunately for him, Belriose is not interested. Like, Belriose has scruples, and in the book this is very similar, except that he's a young man who's trying to do right, who's trying to follow the orders. And unfortunately for him, in both situations, the book and this, he's a threat to Empire, and Cleon knows that. And instead of he basically slaps him, relieves him of duty, and orders the spacer to send the ship to the fleet to Anacreon, which beautifully played. Like, up to this point, it seemed like everything was messed up, and like he's just gonna go around destroying things. But Hober Mallow is the instrument of a really, really smart guy, someone who we noticed from the previous episode that he can, with little information, put 2 and 2 together and make a plan. And so the plan apparently was to put everyone into this situation, to put Empire and all of its fleet into orbit around Terminus, to spark this war, and for one and only one reason: to get Hober Mallow onto the ship so that he could deliver coordinates that would allow the spacers to sabotage the jump ships, to sabotage the ships jumping into warp or hyperspace or whatever. And to realize, as Hober Mallow said, I'm a really good salesman, and I sold them on the idea of not just betraying you, but also helping me to get on board so that I could do this with you aboard. And so essentially it's set so that all the ships are jumping right next to each other and destroying every time they do, imploding. And it's a chain reaction that's ultimately going to take the capital ship, and is going to take Day with him. And so it leads to one of the it's like in watching the movie They Live, a knockdown drag out between Riose. Well, first it's between Hober Mallow and Day is completely outclassing him. But that allows Riose to get in there, who's a little bit better, and it's a big bloody, just ass kicking. Then Day is just physically better, and but still, they give and get and so forth until till Riose is in the he's in the airlock and he gets forced out of the airlock into space. And if you thought, man, that sucks, the Day is just too much. Well, it was a whole little okey doke because they used a little switching device, and actually and by the way, this Day, he sucks so hard. Like, he sucks more than the Day from the previous season. And to see his, I won't even want to call narcissistic, because his narcissism isn't out of line with who he actually is. But his thinking he can thwart, he can thwart his destiny or whatever, according to Selden, hilarious, because he gets, switched, and now he's out in the airlock and Riose is inside. And unfortunately, everyone on board is going to die, except they send Brother Constant out, because there's only one way out, and she's the only one that can leave, and she has to tell the tale. And there's a cute little moment between her and Hober Mallow. I have a suspicion that she's maybe pregnant with his child. Who knows? But it all ends with Hober Mallow and Riose, formerly enemies, now sharing a final drink of terrible wine, apparently, Thespin wine, I want to say, and just having that final moment with each other before they die. And we then see that Constant is picked up by the vault, which did not get destroyed. Why would it be destroyed? And its inside is, of course, Harry Selden, but also Polly, and also everyone else from the Foundation, because that was the okey doke. Again, another okey doke where, yes, it seems like the planet itself was destroyed, but the actual population, because this is sort of a god device. They don't explain it, but the vault's sort of a god device that swept everyone up into it, and it's of course in higher dimensional space, so there's plenty of space for everyone, and of course plenty to eat, because they, as he said earlier, when Day and Dawn were it's when Day and Demerzel were in, and also when Hober Mallow and Polly and Cermak were in there, of course he can make food and water and whatever they need. And this was all the plan to get the fleet out there to deliver a blow to the Empire, and to fully set themselves free, because the fleet's all gone now. They really won't be able to do much to them. Meanwhile, on Ignis, it's kind of the denouement of that whole deal with Telem, and they explain how Harry was saved by Gale, and that the person that they thought was Harry's body was actually someone else, and they were using a projection to make everyone see that. And they were just basically putting on a show so that Harry could get away, and that's how he was able to, it was Gale getting her powers on, and how it showed how she maybe was more powerful than Telem in some ways. And now she's essentially accepted as the leader, and Harry and Salvor and Gale can pretty much help to create the second foundation, now that, as they said, Telem's not in their minds anymore, so they can't be influenced by her anymore. And that leads to what I would consider to be probably the most, like the most surprising part of this episode, which was the death of Salvor Hardin, who we saw in a future telling, or future foretelling from Gale, that she was going to die at the hands of the Mule, 150 years in the future. But instead, she dies saving her mother from the ghost of Telem that was controlling the little boy that Salvor befriended. and like the last vestiges of it. And so as she says, look, we can, the future's not set, we can change the future. And so, we see Salvor Hardin exiting this show, which, to be fair, in the books, she would have been dead anyway, long dead, but if not for the cryo sleep. So seeing her pass away means that, yes, that future with the mule where Salvor was defeated by him isn't, necessarily going to come to pass. And so Harry and her, decide that they're going to go into cryo sleep and come up every year to make sure that psychohistory and the Second Foundation is doing what it's supposed to in preparation for the mule. And so, meanwhile, on Trantor, Demerzel decants the three Cleons, and now has the Prime Radiant, which you think like, oh man, it's messed up. She has the Prime Radiant. It's going to be bad. But actually, remember, Harry gave it to her intentionally. He wants her to have it. So clearly what's going to happen in the future depends on the Cleons and or Demerzel having the Prime Radiant, knowing what it does, and having some way to use that knowledge. And we get a time skip at the very end, a stinger that is the mule in the future vowing to destroy Gale Dornick. So we know that somehow or another we're going to see Harry Seldon in the flesh and Gale Dornick deal with him with this time skip for next season. So just all the way around, what a great ending to a really great second season. Like, sophomore seasons are where you can make or break a show. This is definitely one that not only did its job of like really pushing the story forward, but it elevated the material. It exceeded the first season in every conceivable way. It really brought a lot of excitement. It balanced excitement and intrigue and like the emotional bits, and really made the Genetic Dynasty make sense and work, and made Demerzel work. Even if you're expecting, stuff from the books, made it work so that it didn't undermine the general idea of Foundation. And so now I'm really excited to see the mule. I'm really excited to see what Gale is going to do with her mentalics. And, will, Dawn and Sereth, will they be able to actually have kids that won't be hunted down and killed? Will Demerzel be able to salvage what's going on in the Empire? That's clearly a redwood that is definitely on its way to the ground. So all of that, there's so much to look forward to, and I can't wait. So anyway, those are all my thoughts on this episode and this season and this show. So what did you guys think about it? What did you think about the season? What did you think about the finale? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do me a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see these videos. All right, thanks for joining me on this season of Foundation. Come back to the channel, got plenty more reviews, and of course, the Super Not Funny Show Supercast. Check all that stuff out. Until then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.